behind our movement.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we do have the blue Protoss player. He's currently down 1 game in this set to a sick Swarm Host build by Catz. It is, of course, TT1. And over in the top left-hand corner, we have his teammate. Incredible opening strategy. We'll see what kind of wonky, sick builds he can come up with this time. It is, of course, Root Catz.
Dude, that was so intelligent.
Yeah.
That was so smart. Like, what? What?
And it all started
What?
with that 7-6 pull,
What?
7-6 pull or something like that.
And he was so far behind after that. He was so far behind. I mean, and then he went into double gas or like quick layer. I mean, like, what? I can't believe he got away with that. That was just, oh man.
When I saw the double gas too, I was like, what is he? Is he gonna go for like a Baneling bust?
Like one base muta or something?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what,
But he went for Swarm Host, which was
Swarm
like,
Host,
wow.
Infester, Queen.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I like the early probe scout here from TT1. He wants to check to make sure what is going on. It looks like it is going to be a more standard opening by Catz, who's thrown down a spawning pool.
Quick pool though. Very quick pool.
About 15, I think.
I think he pulled on 13. I don't know. I think because on this map, he really...
Ooh, he gets the probe.
Yeah,
kill.
but I think on this map, he really just doesn't want to take that third. Because it's so exposed, and you have the rocks blocking. I think it might be a little bit risky to like some early zealot pressure, because it's really hard to get over there, and you're not going to be able to connect your creep. So, you know, TT1 not opening with a gateway here, but I feel like a double gateway opening from TT1 would be a great response to blocking the natural hatchery. Because look at the third. It's so isolated. There's no way the Zergs are going to be able to kill those rocks. A Queen would have to run all the way around to get to the third. I mean...
And they take forever to destroy rocks
Yeah.
just with Queens and Zerglings. You actually need roaches to break that
Yeah.
down quickly at the early game.
Yeah, imagine if instead of trying to go for the Forge Vast Expand, he just added double gates here and started chronoing Zealots and sending them to...
That would be interesting. It looks like Catz here is going to try to delay the Nexus as well, but his drone has taken some damage, so he might have to pull out of there.
Whoa, TT1 floating up to 600 minutes. Okay, there we go. That probe was like, just didn't know where he was going for a second.
Yeah, he didn't know where he wanted to throw the Nexus down, but he will get it at the natural.
Cannon goes on.
Now, the interesting phase of this game now is, for Protoss at least, in Heart of the Swarm, we've been seeing a lot of Protoss go with a Naniwa style opening to get the Mothership Core out. But as of recently, exactly, I've been talking with DeMuslim, I've been talking a little bit with Destiny, and they both mentioned that, and as well as you mentioned, the Mothership Core, it just seems like such a lumbering expense in the early game. Why not just get the Nexus down and play a normal Wings of Liberty style? So that is what TT1 is doing here.
Yeah, man.
He's getting a Nexus.
When I play Protoss in HOTS, I don't even, it doesn't even enter into my mind. I see no immediate benefit other than the potential for added defense.
Right.
But even at that, it's incredibly fragile. It can hardly move.
Right.
And, I mean... 2 cannons serve that purpose better.
I think the main benefit of it, besides the added
it's
defense,
just a recall.
It is a recall, which you don't need in the early game.
Energize is pretty good too.
The Energize for the infinite energy on a Nexus, but if you're going to have the energy on a Nexus, why not just get a second Nexus for more energy in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. I think its real value is in the mid-late game when you have enough energy for mass recalls. I think that's when we'll start to see people really using the Mothership Core, because you can do things like, for instance, you could do like a 2-base Blink Stalker all-in with +2 weapons, and generally, Protoss players have to be really careful with their Blink Stalkers, because if you blink in and you overcommit, obviously you can't get out, they can cut you off. But if you blink in and commit, kill a hatchery, and then recall out, that is like a pretty effective strategy. I think we'll start to see stuff like that in the future.
Yeah, I've been actually seeing a lot of players doing that with the Mothership recall. They can bring their whole army out, which is amazing. Catz here moving out to the Zonaga Tower and claiming both with an early Zergling. Good idea.
He's also got that third hatch going up. So just a very standard openings from both players here. Nothing really out of the ordinary. TT1 keeping up on pro production, doing a great job. And he does add a quick robo here. So he's focusing a lot of those chrono boosts on the Nexuses. He hasn't chronoed Warp Gate. He hasn't chronoed +1 yet. So I don't think we're going to see a timing push here out of TT1. And I respect that choice on this map. I feel like this is an excellent, excellent map. I'm not sure why the Zergs keep picking this. I don't know why.
Actually, TT1 picked this.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Excuse me, yeah. Great pick for TT1. I think this is an excellent, excellent map for Protoss. There's chokes everywhere. You can take a safe, easy third.
And just going back to what you were saying, the 1-gate robo, actually is the safest opening for Protoss on 2 base against Zerg. It's been carried over from Wings of Liberty. Reason being, you can get an early OBS out if you want, or you can get the quick Immortal out. This is actually the way to stop something like a Stefano Max Roach, but you know what? TT1 is going to have to look to claim the 3rd base fairly soon as well. You need that 3rd base in order to play the late game against Zerg, and it does look like Catz is going for something akin to that type of Roach build with Roaches and Zerglings.
Yeah, right now he's just continuing to macro up. He's got his 3 base up. He's trying to saturate everything here. He's working down those rocks. And like I said in the White Ross series, I'd love to see the Zerg player on this map try and take a really early 4th, because you've got to assume, and we do have a Mothership Core out here for TT1. As I was saying, you've got to assume that your Protoss player is going to try and go for that quick 3 base. But it looks like we might have an Immortal Sentry all in here.
Yeah, it looks like an Immortal Sentry.
Is he going to bring the Mothership Core?
I don't know, man. That's a really slow unit.
Is he going to bring it?
I feel like a better decision would be to leave it at home, save enough energy for a mass recall. If things get hairy with the Immortal Sentry all in, bring your whole army back.
I wonder what he's doing with it.
But he's bringing it out to the middle of the field.
I know.
This is a little crazy, and he hasn't expanded yet, so this is most definitely
it is.
2 base, Immortal Sentry all in.
But what role does the Mothership Core play here?
It's a very slow tortoise. Very, very slow.
She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes, just like lumbering its way across.
And when Zerg sees this, when you see a Mothership Core moving out like this, immediately alarm bells got to be ringing in your head, like, what is going on?
He could try and go for a recall in Catz's base.
Yeah. But you know what? He's going to see it, though.
I know, but, like, you know, I mean, it's tough.
I know, but like, you know,
it's tough to get that thing across the map without getting seen, right? It's not very stealthy.
All right, well now Catz knows what's going on. He's going to throw up crawlers, but the problem on this map, there are 2 openings. Even though the rocks are here, they can be broken down, and Catz will have to throw up extra crawlers at both sides. As TT1 continues to add on to his army, no indications of a 3rd base. He might wait for plus armor before he makes his move.
He does have a Warp Prism out as well.
Yeah, that will allow him to attack through the backside if he wants to drop in units. And there are Swarm Hosts on the way. Will the Swarm Hosts be in time?
I don't think they will.
It looks like Catz is going to go in with a ton of Zerglings here. He will force some force fields.
Oh, I'm surprised TT1 didn't actually try and trap a lot of those Lings there. He could have gotten a bunch of kills, but still a nice reaction by TT1 to pull out immediately, not overcommit here. Now this all in here, it could be devastating. I mean, Catz really doesn't have that much, but the 6 Swarm Hosts are going to spawn, and that could change everything here. He's going to buy a little extra time, having TT1 work down these rocks. Can he get the Swarm Hosts in position? Needs to burrow them immediately. Catz gets them down. TT1 working in. Going for the initial Spine Crawler. The Swarm Hosts spawn their Locust. Can he hold on here? It's all going to come down to this.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a Warp Prism here to provide backup for the Protoss player if he decides to warp in new units. Those force fields are pretty damn good, but TT1's thinking here, well, there's Locusts and there's Infestors. This could be a bad idea to engage, but he might almost be forced because he doesn't have a 3rd base.
Huge fungal right there.
Oh, he has to recall his whole army out.
Wow, such a great call by TT1 right there. He recalled into the natural. He completely switched his position.
Oh, he has the Mothership Core at the natural, and he's brought his whole army in.
Oh my god, that was so smart by him. If he's able to pull this off. I don't know if he has enough, though. We'll have to see. He just might, though. It's so close. He's warping in reinforcements. The Swarm Hosts are spawning additional Locusts. Infested Terrans coming down. TT1 continues to warp in reinforcements. He might be able to break through here. Can the Locusts spawn another wave?
He has an observer to see the Swarm Hosts as well. The Locusts are coming.
Look how much damage they do.
It's going to come down to the Locusts and the reinforcement Zerglings. And I think Catz is going to have enough. He swarms the Protoss army, and GG calls TT1. Wow.
Wow, dude.
That was like
mind equals blown. Mind equals blown. That was so smart from TT1. Although I think it would have been much better served if he was able to recall those units maybe over here.
But the Mothership Core was so slow.
I know. I think he should have taken his time and tried to either go for the main with the Mothership Core or maybe go farther into the natural, because as it stood, he was still within range of the Locusts.
Yeah.
And God, do those things do a lot of damage.
Very nice hold.
It's unreal.
Very nice hold by Catz, who will advance on to the semifinals. He joins alongside Illusion and White-Ra. We have one more best of 3 for the night. It is Kawaii Rice and Demuslim. Ladies and gentlemen, Please,
please stay tuned.
Don't go anywhere.
But before that, I have to get an interview with Catz.
All right, we'll be right back with that interview in a few minutes. Quick commercial break. Stay tuned.